Welcome everybody. First of all, first question was, can this be watched later again? Yes, this can be. You can also watch it probably on YouTube as well later, but definitely on Facebook. And just gonna play the video. It is going to be a little bit choppy. That's the best we could get it. I even had to make the video smaller. I'm gonna play the video and pause at certain places, talk about certain things. We're also monitoring comments. If you guys want to ask questions, every so often we'll pause and answer your questions. We can rewind, fast forward, and so on. As for what stage it is, this is Egan Creek, 2019, the latest tall pines, super challenging conditions. First pass on Egan Creek. This was the start is very narrow, pretty high speed with a couple of tight corners. Early on, there's the rough section where you'll see how much we slow down. I'll explain why and so on. And then also we will be then turning square left onto a wide, famous Upper Turif Road, which is always part of Peanut and so on. That's super high speed, very crazy in terms of grip and just big bold stuff. And then we're turning off onto not Quirk, but Birch Road left, which is, I don't know how far there we'll go. We had a major moment there. And I know Pat Sear, the drifter guy in rear-wheel drive car, he's rolled there, not on the same spot, but on that part of the road. Yeah, and then we'll definitely end it there or a little bit before. So here it comes. Which is, I don't know how far there we'll go. We had a major moment there. And I know Pat Sear, the drifter guy in rear-wheel drive car, he's rolled there, not on the...
Clip left 7 minus over crest, right over 25, ice, early full cock, latest right 6 plus over crest, early left 8. Wait. Early left 8 plus cut, flat.
So first of all, I'll pause early on. I wanted to share driving for years on these very challenging conditions, of course, helped me with understanding snow, ice, mud, and all these kind of different changing conditions very well. And I was very happy and honored to work with Sean Johnston in the World Championship as a gravel crew, amongst other things. The latest outing we had was Rally Monte Carlo in 2020, and Sean Johnston was by far the fastest two-wheel drive car amongst R2 cars, and even beating all the R3 cars. Yeah, because R3 cars are more powerful and pedal shifter, and he's on some of them, and he still beat everybody. And we were gravel crew with Mike Gilby, who is from the UK. He's co-driven for me before, back in my WRC days. So that was really, really good. And Sean said that in the entire rally with super challenging conditions, we only had one place where we didn't get the condition right. Can you imagine, out of a full WRC round, only one place where conditions were not right on both passes? So something with shades and trees and sun must have been just wrong there, but which we couldn't predict. But everything else was great. And to give you an idea how important that is, for example, Thierry Neuville, who I don't remember if he won the rally or definitely was very fast, he had Denny Sordo doing gravel crews, another factory driver. So it's super important. And yeah, as for this Onboard, of course, we're not allowed gravel crews, so we have to take the best guess, and you'll see quite a bit of notes that talk about conditions. And that's crucial. You cannot be fast unless you do this.
Water opens over 40, down icy, crested right 3, believe good cock, 20, early right 5 plus quarter cut.
Latest it? Never mind.
In sudden early left.
Okay, here you guys would have heard me make a change. Now this one is obviously, it's our rally date, so Tatiana is co-driving. Normally I would always make changes on the fly for co-driver to put them in to the pace notes, but with Tatiana we agreed that that'll be way too much for her. So that's me just saying it and then saying, oh, never mind, because I just remembered that I'm not supposed to make changes.
2 out, tightens 1 plus ice, and latest right 5 plus neg, tightens 5 minus, big cut under 60 ice.
Wait.
Also, as for what tires we have, just for those, everybody probably knows this, but for those who doesn't, we're not allowed studs of any kind or any metal or chains or anything like that in these tires in this event. Therefore, it's just rubber to ice or whatever you get. So these are just winter tires. Actually, of these particular tires are off the shelf. Anybody can buy them, and not even that heavily modified. They're cut in certain places for deeper snow, but that's it.
Now,
Understeer 60 ice. Latest cock left 8 plus. Believer 60. Z latest cut left 5 plus down. In early good cut right 7 minus minus. 110 ice.
wait.
And obviously, it's really, really hard to gel. Well, it's always the hardest thing is pacing for the co-driver, when to give you the notes. And in this case, you can see that we're kind of still getting used to each other. It's our first pass on Egan. Tatiana's like, I don't know, 4th, 5th stage ever in her life. She's doing amazingly much better than anybody, including Kenjam guys, than we all expected. But we're still like working on the spacing, and we've agreed on the code when I say wait, then I say go, what these things mean, and when to start repeating, if anything. It's really crucial.
That was Billy Wade, I think. Right?
Yeah. The latest good cut left 5 plus down.
Next.
In early good cut right 7 is 110 ice.
Yep.
Early right 9 minus. Lin out. Titans 8 plus over crest. Good cut is okay. Right over believe 80 over bump slowing. Sudden cut left 8 over rocks. 40 over crest. Extra left over sleepy crest. Turn teeth right 0 plus. Yep. Late deck left wide. Deck late -1. Good cut quarter ruts.
So people have been asking me how often you use e-brake, and normally in slippery conditions you would use it more often than on dry gravel or less slippery surface. And here is the first time I barely touched the e-brake, right? Only for a 90-degree corner pretty much. And you can see, I will rewind here, barely touched the e-brake. It's almost like throwing the brake bias rearwards instead of actually sliding the car. And you don't want to be sideways. And also, despite the whole thing about Crazy Leo being wild, it's as you can see, it's very straight right now. There's no big slides, no moments like this. And for those, there's a lot of people who come to us to the School to Race Lab from drifting and stuff. And I tell them, look, we do have big drifts and big moments, big sideways, but that's when we are correcting a mistake. That's not intentional, right? So we do get that kind of fun, but just not on purpose. So I'll rewind a little bit about the e-brake. So this is the approach. Corner is right after that crest.
Yep. Late deck left wide. Deck late -1. Good cut quarter ruts.
Wait.
Caution 40. Latest left 7. Iceland out.
Notice, and I will rewind this again. The previous corner, the road got more white, so you see, obviously it's less grip, right? And notice how tentative and gentle I am on the throttle, right? It's not, it's like, woo, you're squeezing the orange, right? Any wheel spin is losing time because the wheels are spinning, the car is not going forward. So you want to be less than when the wheels are spinning on throttle, as opposed to more. Super gentle. Right here it'll be.
-1. Good cut quarter ruts.
Wait.
Caution 40. Latest left 7. Iceland out.
And right after we took that corner with very gentle throttle application, like I said, notice I shift into third right away because that's thing. I know it'll just wheel spin in second, so I shift there. It helps to put the power down, but it also saves you a shift later on because obviously shifts in stock transmission take quite a lot of time.
Grip. Tighten sudden latest 3 plus clip over rough ice water.
And now we've come to a creek. There's always an issue with beavers, organizers, Ross Wood, and all the boys that work on tall pines. They always do a ton of work here, but there's always a lot of water and very rough ice, like ridges to jump down into the water and come out of it. And it's really never worth it to go fast through here. We slow down a lot, especially strategically. You have to think this is a very big loop, right? You have this longer stage of the rally than other Hastings stages, which are very long as well. So you really don't want to damage anything here. And also earlier I said that you are on stock tires. They're really not strong. So have to be really careful through that, and you'll see how much time we lose on one hand here, but then at least the car is still drives straight after, and we're all the tires.
Left over 30 over rough. What?
I'm swearing in Russian.
Urlichich left 4++ over crest. Nips good cut normal in 20. Deck right 4-, cut. Tit flat left out. Tightens no 6+ over kick. Open.
See, she went ahead a little bit.
Wait.
There you go.
Act early cut right 8+ over jump. Into. Early cut right 8- over 12. Right 7 over crest out quarter. Neck tightens turn small pin.
Got it.
4+ I.
Now here's a tip that will be very helpful to newer, less experienced teams. I will rewind also this. There's a bad corner, and when watching videos before the rally, after the recce, and previous years also, we've really worked on it to make sure it's late, and I can hear it in the co-driver's voice that it's like, oh, I got to get it out on time. And to make sure that she got it, to make sure that I explained to her that I got it, we're not going to go off, to kind of calm her down, and also not to get any more kind of yelling at me, which is distracting, right? I just tell her, got it. I do this obviously with the newer co-drivers a lot, but even with some experienced co-drivers, because the pace is higher and you're just like going for it, and you want to make sure your co-driver knows that you've got the dangerous spot. And then you can even push through it higher, like faster, more aggressive, more attack. If you really got it, then your co-driver won't be scared why you're braking so late, etc. So I will rewind this for a second.
Crest 12, right 7 over crest, out quarter, neck tightens, turn, small pin.
Got it.
4+. 12, cut short right 9 over jump.
Next.
Open scare 60. Early tit left 8-, nips quarter cut down into early tit left 5+, cut quarter 50. Early right 8-, good cut, very lean. Nips good cut over flat crest into tit left 10, tightens 9, in over crest, very late right 8 out, tightens 7-, cock, care 70. Brake right, turn very early box left, plus big cut over slippy crest, slippy exit into early right 5-, big.
So that's onto that wide road. The pace will pick up a lot here, but it's very, very slippery. But first, let's talk about another corner on e-brake, because like I said, it's a popular question. You'll see here, we're coming from a narrow road, which is more slippery than previous. Therefore, I'm kind of using e-brake a little bit more, yet still it's not a big slide. It's just a little more than previous corner, but it's not quite a big drift, right? So check it out.
Cut over slippy crest, slippy exit into early right 5-, big cut.
Also notice that I pull the e-brake and then downshift, right? Most people are used to, I know this from the school, that they kind of want to downshift first and then the e-brake. No point, because you're just saving time. While the car is sliding with the e-brake, that's a good time to downshift. Engine braking is not that important because you're not really boiling the brakes in rallying. Like you can just brake in those particular cases when you have big braking events, you can just pull the e-brake and then downshift.
Over grippy crest, opens long, 12, early left 8 out, over crest.
This is fast
6++,
now.
grip,
This is fast.
nips normal.
Wait. Next.
Leftish over 20, left and minus over grippy crest in 12, early right 8-, clip flat, crest, early left 8++ over ice crest, nips, flat big jumps.
Slow down. Good.
So we had a section because of the sun, it was pretty much gravel, and then back to ice. Trust me, that gravel section is fast as hell. So this is Egan Creek, the wide section.
Nips, flat over crest, shit over 12.
Fucking hell.
Deck 6++, very ice, clip over neck, crest, zip, right 5 out, bad ice. Tightens early cut 4++ grip.
Wait,
25. Left 8 minus. Ice over neck crest cut into. Early right 7 clip, nips in, act very early clip, left 6+ over huge crest.
That crest is big.
Opens. Tightens 6+. Neg entry over crest, clip quarter 20.
See, I chickened out. I'll rewind to show when she says left something over a huge crest. I kind of waited, did the right thing, but I then, can you turn on the sound?
Yes.
I did the right thing, but still, like, the line was good, but still turned a little bit too aggressively, and that wasn't ideal. That's what loses you like tenths and seconds to good drivers. Are you in headset?
Yes.
Into. Early right 7 clip, nips in, act very early clip, left 6+ over huge crest.
This one.
Opens. Tightens 6+. Neg entry over crest, clip quarter 20. Left over grip crest into deck late right 4, clip quarter. Early lefty, max crests. Ice. Early cut right 6++ over.
You see, we have 100 meters and then ice and then some corner, and that is where it's super challenging for co-drivers. When the pace increases and the corners are faster, you need to give the coming note a lot earlier, and it's really hard to do on snow and ice without studs. Like any co-driver, even from Europe, even those who used to go to compete in the world championship, they have a hard time with this. So if you're going with your not so experienced co-driver for your one of the first snow rallies, that's something really important to practice and talk about and so on. That's why here, as soon as I see the higher speed stuff, I go next. I'll rewind a little bit.
100 ice. Early cut right 6++ over crest in 12. Left 7+ after crest. Out crown ice. Tighten sudden clip 6 minus. 60. Rightish over small crest. Hit right 8, neg out. Tighten 6 minus grip. Crests.
So what I'll do now, just to make it a little more fun, I'll fast forward next section of this road because it's more or less similar, and then we'll go to like last bit of the wide road, then the junction turn left, and then we'll go for the next bit of road. It's quite interesting. So yeah, just bear with me here for a sec. I'll fast forward.
Hit left 10, grip flat. 200 ice. Short left 10++ over max jump.
Missed the shift there.
Opens. Nips normal, flat over crest, 20.
That's about 200 an hour on ice.
Right 10+ lean, tightens 10 after flat big jump, quarter. Slowing 12. Left 9, grab lean, tightens at sign, very early lobe. Big cut, square plus, into. Latish, right 7++ over small crest. Nips cut 20. Very late. Tit right 7 over crest, out, nips normal, believe cut over crest, 20. Late left 9 minus over crest, clip.
Now,
Believe right over care 90. Ice right over half long, ice crest. Deck late left 4++.
bad
Cock half, crown nips, 30.
Oh, that's the moment. That's like the worst moment, maybe in the whole rally. I touch the brakes there. There's nothing. Absolutely, like no deceleration whatsoever. And then somehow I find it in me to release the brake pedal, which is very scary. Then we go into the left bank and brake there, and we actually just make the corner. So I'll rewind. That was really scary. As you guys know, especially those of you who drive or rally or track or anything like that, the videos never look nearly as crazy as feels in the car. But trust me, this was really scary.
9 minus over crest, clip.
It's the 90, the distance when it's 90, ice or something, that 90 was really, really slippery.
Now.
Believe right over care 90. Ice right over half long ice crest. Deck late left for plus plus.
Better.
Cock half crown nips 30. Stay
You have to mark that. That's like stop ice.
stay rightish over big flat jump.
And also notice that even though it said right over, the ice 90, the conditions changed between Reiki and the rally. So I stayed middle because if you're on the right, high chance to get sucked into the right, and the corner is left coming up. But also when things started going really wrong, I was braking in the left bank. That is key because at least you're pointing the car that direction, right? At least if you not make the corner, at least you're going the right way, more chance to make it. So I'll rewind it again. But yeah, if you're like losing it, please be on the correct side of the road.
Late left for plus plus.
Better.
Cock half crown nips 30.
You have to mark that. That's like stop ice.
Stay rightish over big flat jump.
And also separate topic, but those who come to the school and who is involved in all these discussions about what steering technique is the right one, you can see that hand over hand technique was really useful there. I won't rewind it for the third time, but you guys can rewind the video on your own and see how that was key and how quickly I was able to turn the wheel. And remember, this steering rack is stock, right? It's a production class car.
Right,
The page.
right 10 plus plus flat 20. Rightish over jump. Short left 10 plus over crest 35 down.
We're good.
Early left 7 plus over kick 25. Early cock.
Wait. This is left 7.
Okay. Early cock left 7 plus plus over grip jump.
Next.
Zoo 10 out quarter. Tightens neck.
Wait.
About the difference between clip and cut.
So there is a question about what's the difference between clip and cut. Clip is a small cut because which is why I say 2 words small cut, use clip, right? That's a lot of drivers use that. I usually don't share a lot of like tricks from my pace notes, but that's pretty basic. A lot of drivers use that, so that's definitely the way to do it. Do we have any other like interesting questions? Maybe now is the time.
Not yet.
Okay.
That's Zoo 10.
Zoo 10 tightens neck entry late left 7 plus over crest. Opens flat grip 50. Rightish over big jump. Latish.
By the way, guys and girls, I have a question for you. If you like this, let me know what if you want us to do this again next week maybe, and we can show some onboard from either gravel stuff that's more high speed in the same car, because that's a slower car, right? Not open class. Or we can show some stuff from WRC in a low power front wheel drive car, like on tarmac even, that I've done in 2014. So yeah, let me know what you'd like to see next.
Early left 8 minus ice clip quarter zip into early cut right 5 minus in
Wait. Wait.
tit left
No.
7 minus after crest nips cut right 8 out quarter tightens 6 minus clip quarter opens tightens visible latish good cut 9 over sisu jump into short left 9 over flat jump 30 sudden tit left 8 bad ice good into early cut left 7 plus plus over crest opens over 70 cut in right 6 minus over kick nips good.
In the last few I guess minute or two, you can rewind yourself to watch. I'm staying kind of off the ruts because there it feels like the ruts, the more bluer tracks, like in the middle of the road, they're more ice than doing it like this. So yeah, that's the reason.
There's a question. How do you like birch now that it's wider from the logging?
So somebody asked me how do I like this section of the road, which is called birch, because they changed it up a year or two ago. They made it wider. I like that it has less of those crazy rocks, but I in general like a lot more technical stages. Like I like I guess lower speed where there's more corners. So the fact that it's straighter I don't like, because that's all about like fast car, right? But the smoothness part I do like. And I think in gravel now birch would be it'll be fun, but it'll be like crazy fast. But yeah, in snow, I'd prefer to be a bit more technical.
Cut over crest. Opens over sleepy 60. Tightens Z latish for minus. Lil neck exit 12. Short clip left 10 over jump 25. Left 8 over crest out quarter. Caution nips normal over crest. Clip into left 6 over very big jump out ice. Tightens cut 5 minus. Into right 10 lin, nips over crest out, tightens 8 plus over crest cut, 12, left 9 minus.
Wait, Lynn, tightens, good.
12, left 9 minus, out half, tightens deck 6 plus plus down into water.
That's the deck.
Into water. Very late, left for minus, bad ice, cut, short right 4, nips normal, clip, opens over crest cut, 12, bump, act, left 8 minus, quarter, opens flat, clip over crest, care 120, deck early, left 7 minus over very big jump, cut, nips, zip into right 2 minus, quarter cut, narrow.
Got it?
Tightens understeer maybe 3, very no, quarter, rocks, shit. Unseen believe big cut 2 minus 90. Rightish over big balls crest 50. Latish left 8,
Wait.
50. Latish left 8.
I believe we're coming up to the place where that guy in two-wheel drive BRZ where he rolled.
Neck out sleepy, tightens. Deck sudden 5 plus over crest, clip quarter. Opens over big jump over 20.
Next.
Down into early cut right 7 grip, left over 30. Right 7 plus over jump, nips grip in 20. Deck cut left 9 over crest down, zip, early right 4 minus, grip in into.
Wait,
Sudden tit left 7.
wait.
Sudden tit left 7 carry, 20, unseen jump, 12, clip, right 10 plus over small crest, 150,
Next.
slowing right 10 plus over crest, in down, early left 8 plus, neck sleepy, tightens 20, left 7 minus, cock, zip turn, tit, deck square right, small pin, narrow.
Now we're turning on the next road, which is Mayo Lake Road. That's my favorite section, actually. I'm not gonna do this for too much longer, but we're gonna watch a little bit of that and then finish it. It's a really cool section, especially in gravel when they used to run it as part of Black Bear in the summer. Oh, that was amazing. But nowadays it's too rough. That's the problem. Everybody always gets punctures there. So if we could have it a bit smoother, like less rocks, it's not really rough, it's just rocky. And in the summer, where we can have strong gravel tires, that's the best, probably one of the best roads in the world, I would say.
And early only clip left 8 plus 20. Rightish over max, long crest, left over 30, left over small crest into right 8 plus plus lil neck, lin, max big crest, 70. Very early clip left 8 plus plus over crest into max crest.
Also, what's tricky for us there is that like we're one of the first people on the road, and then later we were for the second half of the rally, and in the beginning first 3 or 4 stages we were first, so we're doing most of the rally like first on the road, which means that we kind of have better grip on snow and ice, yes, but it is tricky because if there's something that really changed from the recce, like bad patch of ice, etc., there's not a lot of cars, or in some cases nobody at all in front of us to have a mistake, a problem there, to kind of warn us about it. So that's the downside of being first on the road or second.
80. Latish right plus plus over Sisu, huge crest, right over 80. Latish left 10 plus over crest out, Titan sudden tit 7 plus plus, believe 50. Left 10 plus up to crest into early clip right 10, opens flat bumps, opens flat 50, left over crest, believe 45 down.
Wait. Next.
Believe 45 down, right 7 minus minus, clip in, left 8 minus minus,
Wait. Now.
late 8 minus minus, clip nibs, care tires 30, latest clip right.
Yeah, so we'll end it here partially because it's getting a bit long for the video, but also you heard her say care tires. That means that from there on, next section, almost till the end of the stage, is way too rocky. So everybody, like, the strategy is just to back off there. So it's not very exciting, but yeah, just a little bit of a, I guess, sharing the strategy, right? When you just know the section is bad, you have to back off, and you might still get problem. We still got, I think, a puncture on one of the passes or even on both. But even, yeah, like, you just know without full-on strong rally tires, you are going to get screwed there in the space. So yeah, there you go. So that's it. Like I said, tell us if you guys want us to do this again. We like sharing this stuff. It's cool. And do we have any more questions? No. Okay, so yeah, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully everybody is having a good Sunday there. Remember, stay home, stay safe, and yeah, hopefully soon rallying is going to reopen and the world is going to reopen.
There was one question.
Okay.
It was in Russian.
Okay.
Как тебе удается бороться с коронавирусом?
Oh, somebody's asking in Russian how we're, I guess, fighting the coronavirus. Just staying home. Just don't get it. Stay home. Don't get it. That's how I do it. All right. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys.